All right, are we live? We're live. Okay, hello redesigners and happy Friday. It's Cece from Cece Restyled. I'm a furniture artist in Indianapolis. I'm also a brand ambassador for Redesign with Prima, and usually come on Thursdays at noon, but yesterday some things came up, so here I am, rescheduled Friday. So thanks for hopping on. If you want to hop on and learn a few things or just watch me make bad jokes and fail miserably most of the time, then yeah, grab some popcorn and hop on and say hello. So today we're working with adhesive transfers. So the reason why I decided to use the adhesive transfers, well, there's a few reasons why. I don't see them used a whole lot lately, or ever. And I've also seen a couple posts where people are confused and they think that they are regular rub-on color transfers, the regular decor transfers, which they're not. They're different. And the adhesive transfers are so fun. They don't get enough credit. Regular rub-on color transfers. They don't get enough credit at all, and I feel like they're way underused because they're so cool and there's so many things you can do with them. And we're going to do a few different things. I'm going to show you some different products you can use with the adhesive transfers. But first, I'll show you the tube themselves of the adhesive transfers. It can be a little misleading if you're not paying attention because they look just like regular transfer tubes. So I can see why people get confused. I've even had people come in my store and they're like, oh, I want that transfer. I love those flowers. And I'm like, that's not the flower transfer. It's the adhesive transfer. Those little gold parts, see the little gold details on there? Mixed in with the flowers, that's the adhesive transfer. So it can be a little confusing if you're not really paying attention or you don't know they exist, so you don't know to look for the differences. And also at the top on the adhesive transfers, it says right here, adhesive transfers. So on the regular tube that looks just like this, it says decor transfer. So your decor transfer is your regular color transfers, like the flowers like that. And the adhesive transfers are, they're like a glue. It's like a glue material that is applied just like a regular transfer, but there's no color to it. Well, it's yellow, but that's really just the adhesive. It's not yellow so that you can, use that in your design, but it's just a glue transfer. I'll show you here in just a second. And you lay that down on your surface, whatever you're transferring. And then you can use foil, you can use leaf, you can use mica powder, you can use glitter in order to kind of stick to that adhesive and make your piece all pretty and sparkly, or whatever it's going to look like depending on what product you choose to add to your adhesive transfer. Does that make sense, or are you super confused? Let me show you what they look like. So I just showed you the tube, okay, where it says adhesive transfer right here instead of decor transfer, and that's how you know that you're dealing with an adhesive transfer. Okay, so this one is called Nature and Scripts, and these are the patterns that come in Nature and Scripts. Okay, so all those shapes you see are rolled up in this tube as adhesive or glue. So you can lay that down on your piece and use whatever pattern you want. I have another one here that's called Rustic Elegance, and that's just some different patterns. There's a few different versions of these, a small handful of different adhesive transfers. There's not a ton, so there's a good variety in the ones that are available though. So I think both of these are actually just kind of like all the adhesive transfers I use, and I roll them up and put them all in one tube so I don't have 1,000 tubes with just little scraps in it. So we're gonna open these up and see what's exactly in them. They're not brand new, but they'll work. Whatever's in here will work. If you're hopping on, say hello. And yeah, hopefully you'll learn some things. I've noticed there that, not a lot of people do these tutorials on these, and I don't know why. They're so cool. And I'm glad it comes at a good time. I hope you learned something. Yes, Lisa, it's like a stencil or transfer. It's like a transfer, but with glue instead of, colorful, ink. So let's see. I'm going to try to answer questions as I go, but if I miss any, I'll answer them later. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go and open these and show you what they look like. Okay, so let's see, which one do we want to open first? Let's pick one. Let's pick this one. See what's in here. What's behind door number 1? And okay, so these are the adhesive transfers. Okay, they come rolled up with the backing paper on them, just like your regular decor transfers. What's up, Roz? Did you think I was that I forgot today? I was a little late today because I was trying to finish up some things before I hopped on, but I'm sure nobody cares. So yeah, I just got a bunch of scraps kind of rolled up in here, but I'll go and show you. So the adhesive transfer is, see, the adhesive is yellow, and that way you can see where you're applying it. Okay, so the yellow doesn't make any difference. It shouldn't show in your design as long as you have your adhesive covered up as it should be. It shouldn't show. So the yellow is just so you can see where you're placing it. Let's see. Let me just pick one here. There's this like pattern, that big pattern there with some flowers. It kind of looks like lace. And then there is this one that looks kind of like a honeycomb here. It's kind of cool. Kind of like a little mesh honeycomb. And then this one kind of looks like seaweed. I'm just showing you the variety that you have to choose from. And then this one looks like snake skin. That's pretty cool. Snake skin right there. See that? We might use that one. I'm just trying to see what we got, what will look the best, show the best demonstration of the product. So some flowers. And this little pattern here is fun. So there's lace. A lace pattern down here, and then there's this kind of like dot pattern that makes triangles. I like that one a lot too. And then, okay, let's start with this one. This is just kind of like a, oh, I don't know what you call it. Just a pretty pattern there, and it's kind of long. So we're gonna start with this one, and we'll try to put the different products on it. But my favorite of all of the adhesive transfers, oh, there's a little butterfly. Let's use that too. My favorite of all the adhesive transfers is there's a little chunk of writing or script text in one of the transfers, and this is a little portion of it. It was bigger, but every time I have this design, I go straight for the scripty text, and I use that first, and it's usually that's what gets used up the fastest. I love me some gold script, so let's throw that on there too, so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so we'll start there. I'm gonna go ahead and point you down so you can see what we're working on. I just have this little plant stand / table. I'm not really sure what it is. It's kind of big for a plant stand, kind of small for a table, but whatever. It's just for demonstration purposes. It's not really a project that I'm using, but it was already painted, and I threw a little bit of these flower transfers on here. The reason I did that is so you can kind of see what the adhesive transfers look like mixed in with the flowers or layered with the flowers, because that's usually how I would use them. I wouldn't usually use them on their own without any other elements, but you can. And then, so my regular decor transfers, you want to put those on bare paint, okay? Dried paint, directly to the paint after it's dry, and then you seal it. When I'm using the adhesive transfers, for the most part, I like to seal it first and then put these on. And the reason why is because when I use foils or leaf and then I seal it, the leaf and the foil don't really take the sealer. It just kind of beads up on the surface. It doesn't really take it. And sometimes, depending on what sealer you use, it can take away the sheen or the metallic brilliance of the leaf or the foil. So it's probably suggested to seal it, but I don't usually for a few reasons, and I haven't had any issues with it not lasting. So I mean, I don't use it on places that are super high traffic, so that might have something to do with it, but for the most part, you know, I just use it in decorative items, and I haven't had a problem without sealing the adhesive transfer once it's like foiled or leafed or whatever. So I've sealed this piece in a satin water-based clear coat, gator hide to be exact, but you can use any water-based satin or gloss or flat, whatever. And it's dry. You want to make sure it's completely dry. You can put these on directly onto paint. They they're fine going directly onto paint, but I'm gonna be real honest, I have had a hard time getting these adhesives to apply to some surfaces, and I'm not really sure. I haven't pinpointed what is the cause of that exactly, but some surfaces they adhere to just fine, and some they don't like to stick, they like to pull up. So I'll show you, how I work around that if it doesn't want to stick. And but hopefully it'll stick and we'll be okay. So let's go ahead and put our text down real quick first, because that's the smallest little chunk. Okay, so just like a regular transfer, our adhesive transfer, which is basically just a glue and different patterns, whatever pattern you choose, you peel the backing paper off, just like you would a regular transfer, carefully, so that you're making sure the adhesive sticks to the correct side. See how it kind of wants to come off on the backing paper there, that little string? Just want to be careful so that it all sticks to your transfer paper or your transfer sheet. So let's see, where do we want to put this? Let's go ahead and put it kind of up here. Let's put it up here coming out from the flowers. So I'm going to stick that in place and rub it on just like I would a regular color decor transfer. Okay, and you see the yellow there, it's just adhesive so that you know where you're working with your pattern. You can see it. And then you can use a transfer tool, which is this handy dandy little plastic guy here, or you can use the little wooden stick. It's similar to a fancy popsicle stick. Comes with all the transfers, including the adhesive transfers. They also come with this little stick, so let's just use that for now. And you want to rub it on just like you do regular transfer, okay? So it takes a little bit of elbow grease to rub these on, just like regular transfers. So we're going to rub all over. And once you're confident that you've rubbed it all over and it's sticking as well as you think it should, we're going to peel up backing paper just like a regular transfer. So far the process is exactly like using a regular transfer, like these flowers for example, or for instance. So I'm going to peel up just like normal. And I'm going to go slow so that I can make sure that my adhesive is sticking. And it is. It is sticking to my surface, so we're in business. That's good, that's a pro. Now, the difference is, at this point, between this and a regular transfer is that a regular decor transfer, now I wanna go over it and pop the bubbles, smooth out the wrinkles, and burnish it, with the palm of my hand or a soft cloth. You can't do that with the adhesive, obviously, because it's sticky. That's not gonna work. So, at this point, we're ready to put our medium on here. So whether that be foil, leaf, a metallic foil, metallic leaf, or mica powder, we're ready for that now. I'm gonna show you all three of those, but before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and put the rest of our patterns on so that we have enough adhesive surface here to work with all three mediums. So let's go ahead and, let's put on this guy next. I'm gonna cut it to fit. Let's do it this. Let's do it this way, maybe. Well, let's do a little bit here. I love this pattern. It's like a what's it called? What is this pattern called? ICAT type of pattern. So we're gonna put that guy there, and then let's maybe do a little bit of Gosh, I don't know. So decisions. Let's start with that guy there and then we'll decide. So I'm gonna place it where I want it. And if you are layering with decor transfers, you wanna try not to overlap them. You wanna cut around them because it will pull up your transfer if you're not super careful. And we don't want that, so it shouldn't, but it could. Okay, so let's go ahead and rub that one on with our stick. And I have a heat gun handy just in case it didn't want to stick to my surface. I would try to put a little bit of heat on it to remove it from the backing paper. Not too much, you don't want to melt it or burn it, but just a little bit of heat from a hairdryer or a heat gun to kind of get it to release from that backing paper. But we're not having any issues so far, knock on wood. It's sticking perfectly to our surface. Okay, so let's peel that backing paper away. Okay, there's that. Let's do a little bit more of this pattern. Let's just throw it kind of right here, coming out from this corner maybe. And then, as usual, save your scraps because you never know when you're going to use them. Save them, save them, save them. All right, so this one we'll put here. Boom. Boom. And then I got our little butterfly that I really want to use. So let's throw our little butterfly somewhere. There's a little butterfly and then a little, I don't know what that circle thing is supposed to be. I think a flower of some sort, but I'm not going to use it. We're going to put our butterfly on kind of like near our flowers here. How about that? So there we go. That works for me. Okay, so let's rub this on and then we'll move on to doing the darn thing and putting on our foils, leaf, and mica powders. That way you can compare the difference and see, you know, how they apply different, how they look different, and that way you can decide which one you think would be best for your project. I honestly prefer to use metal leaf, so gold leaf, copper leaf, silver leaf. The reason is it's just so much easier to apply. It's a little more messy, which is the downside, but it's easier to apply. The foil can be a little tricky sometimes, but the leaf always applies great. You know, it just sticks. So, and then the mica powder is pretty, but it is messy. It's hard to seal, and it doesn't give like a super metallic-y bling bling in your face effect. It's a lot more subtle, I guess, depending on what kind of mica powder you're using, but I'll show you all that. Okay, so there's that. Let's rub our butterfly on. Whew. Put some elbow grease into it, people. You can do these on raw wood. You can do them on stained wood as long as it's completely cured. You can do them on paint. You can do them on other transfers, overlapping. You can do them on a lot of different surfaces, really. I mean, depending on what surface, I don't know. It may not last quite as long, but they will stick to just about anything. Mirror, plastic. All right, so there's our butterfly. And this little pattern here. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start with some foil, okay? So the foil that we're using is it's called adhesive release foil. So that means it's on a clear sheet similar to this, okay? A little thinner, but it's on a clear sheet and it releases with adhesive. So you can use brush on glue adhesive like you would for gold foil. You can use spray on adhesive. You can use fusible adhesive for clothing. You can use adhesive transfers. But basically you need an adhesive to release the foils from their backing paper. And I'll show you just some of the different ones that I have. There's a bunch of different colors and patterns that you can find. I am using... Oh wait, you gotta see my bag, you guys. I have these made up in my merch shop on my in my store, and that's my new brush bag. Anyway, so this one is it's a Prima marketing foil delic is what the pattern's called, and they come in 6 by 12 inch sheets. So foil delic is pretty neat. It's got Oh, can you see that? It's got like a rainbow foil color. It's got this kind of funky, here, I'm just gonna open it and show you. But the foils come in pink, blue, copper, silver, gold, a few different kinds of golds. These multicolored ones. I mean, if you can't find what you need in the Prima kind, you can use other brands of foil, but I prefer these because they're easier to apply because they're thick. Some of the other foils I get are so thin that they wrinkle and crease and hard to use. But okay, so there's Foildelic. That's one of the patterns in the Foildelic pack. And then there is, this one is pretty cool. Look at that. Black, gold, silver. And then there is, this one's neato. It's like pinks and like kind of like I don't know, distressy kind of pattern. We are obviously going to use the rainbow pattern today because that way you can see. Oh, there's one I missed. Hold on. Oh, it's just in 2 sheets of the pink one. Okay, so I'll roll those back up and put them back in the tube when we're done. I'm not going to use this whole sheet. I'm going to cut off what I'm going to use. Oh, there's 2 sheets. Dang, they stick together super easy. I'm going to cut off what we're going to use for our demonstration here in a second, and then I'll keep the rest and I'll roll that back up and put it in the tube. But for now, let me just cut off a little bit of it, and then I'll show you a couple other foil colors, and maybe we'll use some of that too. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just going to cut off, let's see, some of the rainbow because it's so pretty. Right, so I'm just going to lay that there for now, not on the adhesive for now. Put these up. I'm going to roll those back up later and hang on to them for next time. Okay, so the other ones I have, and like I said, they come in all the colors, copper, gold, silver, you know, whatever. I have Stardust, which is this pretty kind of matte gold. And then I have Relic Copper, which to me looks more like gold, but it's Relic Copper, so you can compare those two. And then I have another one of Relic Copper, so 2 Relic Coppers and a Stardust. So let's use some Relic Copper. I have more of that, so we shall use it. Let's just cut off a little bit of Relic Copper. Oh, we'll just use this sheet. Yeah, we'll stick with the sheet for now. All right, so let's start with our Foildelic pattern here. I'm going to use my stick again, and again, you can use your fancy schmancy transfer tool or the stick. But basically, I hope you can see. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm sorry if I missed any questions. Let me see real quick if I see any questions right away that need to be answered. But basically, yeah. So Tammy, you must have just hopped on after I explained the fact that these are adhesive transfers. Just like Roz said, she's correct. The yellow is not part of the design. It's just adhesive. That way you can see where you're laying your pattern. So the adhesive, I'll just go over this one more time really quick for the people who maybe just hopped on and are really confused about my yellow transfer here. So the adhesive transfers look just like regular Decor transfers that are in color at a glance. The tube looks the same, okay? So it can be confusing if you don't know what to look for. Okay, so if you want to try the adhesive transfers, you want to make sure it says adhesive transfer right here. Or if you're looking at Decor transfers, if you want a traditional color like flowery, scripty transfer, it'll say Decor transfer right here. Okay, if it says adhesive transfer, it's going to be one of these yellow guys here, which is just glue. It's yellow glue that is sticky, so we can apply our foil or our leaf or our powder, okay? Okay, so right now we're applying our adhesive release foil. So it's basically a clear sheet of like mylar or acetate or whatever, and the foil, the color on there that you see is a sparkly foil that releases from the clear sheet after you rub it on the adhesive. So that's what we're doing real quick. So we've rubbed on our adhesive transfer just like we would a regular decor transfer. I'm going to try to tilt you down or move you down just a little bit so that you can see closer. I'm sorry if it's so far away. Too far away, I guess. Okay. Can you see better? Get closer. There we go. How's that? Good? Oh, what's going on here? Okay, let's see. Sorry, the buttons on my tripod are backwards from real life, so they have to take some getting used to. Okay, so here we go. So there's our adhesive. We're gonna go ahead and lay our silver side down because that's the part that we want to be on the adhesive. So sticky part down. Let's do like part of the butterfly and part of the little pattern there. So let's just kind of lay it like that. Boom. Okay, so we're just gonna lay it in place. Smooth it out a little bit. And then we've got our wooden stick. Like I said, it comes with all the transfers. And we're just gonna kind of rub it on just like we would a transfer. We're just gonna rub it on with our stick. Give it a little pressure, you know, it's not something to be dainty about, but you do want to put a little bit of muscle into it. And rub it on like this, all over. It's a little hard to see because this is not clear, but you can see when it starts to stick. Can you see that? So when you rub over it and it starts to stick to the adhesive, you can definitely tell it's going to release from the back, from the clear sheet. So that helps you kind of get your, you know, coverage and see where to rub. Okay, so now that we've got it rubbed good, is that proper? We've rubbed it well over the back of our foil. So now that we're pretty confident it's gonna stick, we just wanna rip it off like a Band-Aid, okay? Like a regular transfer, you wanna take the backing paper off slow so you make sure it's all sticking to your surface. With the foil, you wanna rip it off like a Band-Aid, quick like that. Ooh, it's so pretty. Now, you see how the foil has released from the backing paper, the clear sheet. But there's a little spot right here that I missed. So if you see any of the yellow glue poking through or still showing, all you gotta do is take your foil sheet and then find a little spot that still has, you know, color to it or foil on it. Find a little spot that still has, you know, some usable foil. Place it over where you see your yellow adhesive and then just redo it, re-rub, okay? Do over, do over, do over. Do again, okay? Okay, so there you go. So now that has color to it, and I think that's all the little yellow spots that, there's a tiny one right there. We're just gonna rub on here a little bit. So make sure we cover all of our yellow adhesive because that's not very sightly. That's not what we want to show. I mean, I suppose the yellow could go with your design, but it's not intended to, and it doesn't go with mine, so we're covering that stuff up. Okay, so rip it off like a Band-Aid, and boom, there you go. So look how pretty that is. It's so pretty, look. See it sparkling in the light? Ooh, so pretty. So that's the foil delic. You don't have to use a super rainbow, you know, pattern. I did it because I wanted you to be able to see it on the camera, but we're gonna try a little bit of the relic copper so you can see the difference. If I can find what I did with that sheet. Oh, there it is. So let's just do some relic copper around this area here, okay? And then, let's see. Let's do it kind of right here in this corner. Boom. Okay, so we're laid it here where I want it, and I'm going to smooth it out to make sure it's sticking where I want it. And then, got a little extra bit of adhesive right here that I just now saw. So all I got to do is cut off a little bit of my foil that's not on the adhesive and just put it there. Boom. Easy peasy. So now I'm going to rub it with my stick, just like I did the rainbow foil. And rip it off like a Band-Aid. Rip it off like a Band-Aid. And, ooh, I love it. The script, like I said, is my favorite. I feel like it just goes with everything, you know? Like, a butterfly doesn't necessarily go with everything, but the script goes with everything. That's just my opinion. There's a little adhesive area right there I see that I missed. So I'm just going to put my foil back down and give it another rub in that spot, and then boom, took care of that. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of my big section here. Rub it all over with the stick. You want to rub it firmly and give it some muscle, but if you rub it too hard, it will rip the back of your foil. So just kind of go firm, but don't, like, you know, Hulk Hogan it unless you want to rip through it and scratch your paint. That's up to you. Whoops. Okay. Ouch. Don't rub your finger, that's silly. All right, so rip it off like a Band-Aid. Boom. Okay, so there's a couple little yellow spots still that I need to just kind of refoil. So let's just do that real quick. Super simple. It's so fun too. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of fun. It's like satisfying to rip that off and then see the pretty sparkly underneath. So you can keep using the foil until it's all gone from the sheet. You know, if you have some left over, just save it. All right, same little spot there. There we go. So that is Copper Relic, which to me looks more like gold, but that's all. It's okay. Whatever they want to call it, I don't care. It's pretty, right? Sparkly? Sparkly. So far, if you're just hopping on, we're using Adhesive Transfers, which are like Decor Transfers. That's a Decor Transfer, but it's just like an adhesive glue instead of a color graphic. So we're applying the glue just like we would at a regular transfer, and then we're putting foil on top of it, and we're going to go ahead and move on to metallic leaf now. I'm going to show you how to apply metallic leaf. So we did foil, we're going to do leaf, and then we're going to do a little bit of mica powder, and then we're going to be done. So, okay, so let me grab my metallic leaf. So I'm going to use gold leaf. You can get gold leaf anywhere. You can go get gold leaf at Michael's, Amazon, Hobby Lobby. You know, I don't have a preferred brand. I use all different brands, and so far none of them have jumped out at me as being like superior. So I get asked that a lot. What's your favorite brand of gold leaf? Well, I don't have a favorite. They all work just great to me. They also have gold leaf in like 24 karat gold, like actual gold. That's not the one I use. I'm too cheap for that. So I just use the imitation gold leaf and it works just fine. So this one right here happens to be from Hobby Lobby. I've got gold, silver, and copper. I think this one's gold. I'm just going to show you gold. And it comes in little sheets like this. Okay, it comes in these super delicate sheets. You got to be really careful. And if you have OCD, I would suggest you have a broom or a shop vac handy, because this stuff makes a mess and it really gives me anxiety. So if I'm gold leafing, usually not on camera, I have a shop vac and I just kind of run it behind my gold leaf process, but that's a gold leaf. There's also copper and silver in different colors available on different websites. So look how thin and dainty this is. It'll rip really easily, so you want to be careful. This is gold leaf. You can apply it with regular brush-on adhesive, spray adhesive, fusible, or not fusible, but these adhesive transfers. So I'm going to show you how that's a little bit different from the foil. Okay, so they give the same kind of look, but the leaf is a little easier, but it's also a little messier. So I've got my sheet of gold leaf. Very carefully, I'm just going to lay it on my spot here that I want to leaf. Boom. Okay. Kind of tap it on there a little bit. If I have some parts that are kind of poking out of the adhesive like that, I just tear off a little piece of the unused gold leaf and just dab it on there like that. So make sure your adhesive is covered, or at least in the areas that you want to adhere the leaf to. And then I got a stiff brush, and we're not going to rub this on like we do a transfer or foil. We're going to use a stiff, I like to use a stiff brush, preferably like kind of this flat shape. And what I do is I kind of take my brush after I've laid my gold leaf on there, and I kind of just pat it on to make sure it's sticking to my adhesive well. So pat it on first, and then after I do that, I just kind of brush away at it. See what I'm talking about? My OCD is on fire right now. Like, I can't handle all these leafy bits everywhere. But I will sweep them up when we're done here. So I'm just gonna kind of take my stiff brush and brush away at the extra pieces that haven't stuck. And the reason why I like to use a stiff one is because sometimes it can be a little stubborn. So you want to take the brush and kind of just like in the opposite direction, kind of pounce at it, like to scrape it out of the little, you know, negative areas that are not adhesive covered. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. You can see what I'm doing though. You get it. So you just want to kind of scrape at it. Scrape away. And then now we have our pattern. See that? So it looks very similar to the foil. The look is the same. The application is just a little different. Okay, it's a little more messy, a little less, you know, muscle involved. So there's pros and cons of each. You just kind of decide what's better for you. If you have little yellow bits of adhesive showing through still, you can always take little scraps that you've brushed away, throw them on there. Reduce, reuse, and recycle, you know what I'm saying. You don't have to get out a new sheet. You just use little bits you brushed away. And waste not, want not, right? What else? I'm full of quotes today. All right, there we go. And I think that's it. All right, there we go. Come on, get on there. Okay. All right, and brush those away, and boom. So that was easy, right? Now we got a vacuum. So there's that. So do you see how pretty that is? Ooh, so sparkly. I love it. I love it. And the very last medium that we're going to apply to our adhesive transfer is Mica Powder. Now, to be honest with you, Mica Powder is my least favorite because not only is it messy, it gets everywhere, it's hard to seal. You have to use a spray sealer to seal it, which you'll want to do because it's a powder. And did I say it's messy? Yeah, that's like my main beef with it. It's messy. It's not very bright and brilliant and shiny like the foil and the leaf. It's more of a subtle kind of sparkle. That's the last one I'm going to show you. And Mica Powders come in all different colors, shimmers, so many. So you can kind of pick the one that you want to use. This one is Finnabear from Prima Marketing. This one's called Peach Opal Magic, okay? Peach Opal Magic. Then I've also got all of these. These are also Finnabear, made by Prima. I've got like pink and blue and green. Let's just, when I can't decide what product or color I want to use, I just use them all. I'm not going to use all of these, but we're going to do a couple just to show you how they turn out. So, any questions? Yeah, Tammy, the first foil that I used was from Prima. I don't know if it's being discontinued. I haven't heard that, but you can use any adhesive release foil. There's lots of different brands. This one just happens to be from Redesign with Prima. See the top, the little logo there. But there are other brands you can use. They work the same. All right, so I got this brown, kind of bronzy color. I've got this coppery color. Pearl. Let's go with the pink. Let's go with the pink, because why not? So I'm going to show you the pink and the peach opal magic so that you can kind of see the difference of the different, outcomes. I think the peach opal magic will be a little transparent or too subtle for what I want, but I'm going to show you that so you can decide for yourself. So basically I've got my pink mica powder. And again, these come in different brands, all different brands. Everybody makes a mica powder in different shimmers, different colors, whatever. This one is just a Finnabair branded one. So look how pretty that is. So I'm going to see if I can just show you what it looks like real quick before we put it on our adhesive. So it's very, very fine powder. Mica powders are used to color paint, makeup, resins. You can use them they're coloration, they're pigments. You can put them in just about anything to make it colorful. So that's the pink one. You can use a brush or a little popsicle stick to kind of sprinkle it on. I'm just going to sprinkle it on straight out of the tube, because why not? Okay, why not? I've got nothing to lose. All right, so that's pink. And this is the Peach Opal Magic. This one's super pretty. I love mica powders, but I don't get to use them near enough because there's not really that much I do that requires them. The Peach Opal Magic is pretty. Can you see how sparkly and iridescent that is? You see why they use them in makeup? Because they're such fine pigments. They disperse throughout the lipstick or the resin or the whatever you're using to color. Whatever you're using them to color, whether that be, resin or paint or whatever. Here, so I'm just going to sprinkle that on my last remaining little adhesive bit here. This is a little wasteful, to be honest with you. If I were you, I would kind of take a little popsicle stick and just kind of sprinkle it over top there so that you don't waste any, but I'm kind of trying to hurry for demonstration's sake, so I'm just kind of putting it on there. All right, so once we got our mica powders on there, I'm just gonna take a brush and, oh, this is gonna drive me crazy. I'm gonna have to vacuum. This is gonna drive me crazy until I vacuum. Okay, so our powder's on there, and then we're just gonna kind of brush it away. Okay, oh God, I'm gonna actually brush it onto something because I don't want this all over my floor, even though it would be pretty. I'm just gonna brush it onto this craft paper. I should have thought about that before, but I didn't. So I'm just going to brush it onto this little paper, which is a template for something I'm making, and I need to keep it. But whatever, it can be sparkly. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of, tap it off and then brush it onto this little sheet of craft paper. You can brush it onto a tarp or outside or your carpet if you really like to vacuum, whatever. Point is, you want to get it off your adhesive. So we're just brushing it away, and I will show you the result. Okay, so again, the mica powders are they're not my most favorite, but it's because they're very subtle shimmer, okay? And I like bling bling. So I do like the mica powders. Not that I don't like them. They're just really messy and subtle. Okay, so you see the mica powders here? How different that is from the foils and the leaf. So it's right here. Wait, where'd it go? Oh, right here is where we did our mica powder. Isn't that pretty? Super pretty, right? Sparkly. See how I did the two colors? You can do one color. I like to do 2 or 3 just because it creates kind of like a iridescent, oil slick, rainbowy kind of look. Okay, so if you missed the beginning, then, well, you can rewind and watch a replay, but here is the mica powder corner here. So you see how they're a little more subtle, not quite as brilliant, and that's fine. Maybe your project requires a more subtle sparkle, okay? There's a time and a place for everything, and that includes the mica powder. This here is the adhesive release foil sheets. So the foil that comes on clear backing paper, you rub it on and then rip it off like a Band-Aid, and that leaves your sparkly goodness onto your piece. Same with here, that's the same product here. Then down here, we use the adhesive release foil here as well, but we used a rainbow pattern one. So here we use gold or relic copper, which looks gold, and then here we use the rainbowy one. And then down here in the corner is our gold leaf. So the leaf that comes in sheets, loose sheets, and you just apply it and then brush away the excess. So there's 3 different ways to use the adhesive transfers, and they're all pretty in their own way. Some are more clean, some are easier, some require more muscle, some require more vacuuming skills. But anyways, if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments, and if I missed them, I will go back and answer them as best I can. But I hope that you learned something today. I was really excited to show you the adhesive transfers because they're not new. They're not new by any means. They've been around, but I don't see people use them very often, and they're super pretty. And also, you know, I see posts every once in a while where people don't realize that they're about to use their adhesive transfer, and they think it's a regular transfer, and it's not. So, you know, you don't want to like get down to it and all excited to apply your transfer, and then surprise, it's not what you think it is. So, yeah, there's that. Just make sure you pay attention to the tube when you're looking for transfers, and make sure that it says adhesive transfer right here if that's what you want. And if you want a regular decor transfer, it says decor transfer right there. Otherwise, they look the same, right? So be observant. Read the label, and that way you know exactly what you're getting. But thank you for hanging out with me today, and have a great weekend. I'll see you next week on Thursday at noon at my normal time slot, hopefully. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit, and I'll see you later. Bye.